And welcome back to redheart.com as well as the Crochet Crowd, introducing the Holiday Balls Throw. This is a really fabulous Afghan here. Now don't get trapped into the Christmas season. This pattern is very versatile and you can use it any time of the year. Just change your colors not to be so Christmassy. So today we're going to be learning how to make one of these. This is an Afghan that you attach as you go and then you do a nice big wicked border at the end. So let's get started on working on the details of this Afghan together. This Afghan is really simple to perform. You just have to do your center pieces and then just work it out. And after you've done one whole one by itself, then you become to join them one after the other. So in today's tutorial what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to show you how to make one of these, but I'm going to indicate where you need to join it, because as soon as you do the first one, everyone else joins to its neighbor and you can go in any direction. Now you will see in the pattern, it's a free pattern by redheart.com. The link is in the more information for that pattern, is that it has the color variables in order to match the pattern. This is where my OCD comes into play, where I'm thinking to myself, do I got the right amount of colors and do I have it at the right part of the Afghan? You know, it's one of those Afghans you have to plan ahead because you are crocheting as you go, so you're making it as you go. So it's one of those you really have to think about. And I think for me, because I'm so OCD, I think all of my squares would probably be the same color if it were up to me. But and I would also probably change these to be more vibrant, springy too, because I really think this pattern is that versatile. So to get started today, it's calling for Red Heart Super Soft, and I did the conversions for you. You can see that in the free pattern. So if you wanted to do a Red Heart Super Saver or Red Heart with Love that I will be doing the entire tutorial today, you will just need 3 balls of red, 3 balls of green, and 2 balls of white. And if you're substituting colors, just change the yarn colors in order to suit your needs. I will also be using a 6.5mm crochet hook today, and it's really quite fun and fabulous. So let's get started right now. So when you're looking at this pattern, you will see that there's different color variations. So it might be the outside border that's changed, and it might be these 2 colors that have changed. All of the squares have the commonality of the white being where it is. So if you're doing any other colors, just take a look at that and see, maybe that's something that you might want to do if you're doing a completely different color scheme, on seeing if that makes sense for you. So that's one of the common elements that you will see throughout this entire Afghan, is that this white level all the way around exists on every one of the circles, and you can just change the colors to suit. So grabbing my With Love by Red Heart, I'm just going to create a slip knot. There are slower tutorials available online if you are needing more help. And what we have is we have with color C, so if you're looking at the pattern, C means the color, chain 6 and join with the slip stitch in the first chain to form a ring, so that this never counts as one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And it's saying to join to form a ring, so we just go back to the first stitch, and you can like form a little horseshoe down like that and just grab the yarn and pull through, and voila, you have a ring that you can slip your finger through. This is the straggler. I automatically want to keep that to the outside because we're going to trap that into position on the next revolution around. So let's move along to the continuing with this step. Now it's asking us to chain 3, and it has in brackets count as a double crochet here and throughout, and then 11 more double crochets around the ring, and then join at the top of the beginning of the chain. So here we go. So we're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. So when it says join with the beginning chain, this is your beginning chain at the top. So this counts as a double crochet in the rules of crochet, and that's why we're only double crocheting 11, because with this it'll make 12. So let's double crochet going right into the ring. Let's keep our straggler around to the outside so it traps it into position. So going in, double crocheting. Now I'm one of those kind of people, I tend not to count as I go around. I tend just to throw in a lot of double crochets, and when it looks like it's getting close, I then do a final count. You'll want to keep your counts accurate on this particular motif, so if you have 13 at the end or 14, it will impact the way that it looks when you're going to carry on in the next rows above. So we're looking at here, and I'm just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm just counting the posts. 10, 11, and 12. So I counted the first chaining of the crochet there as 1, just so you're aware. And it says to join with the beginning chain, so we just come up to the top. So we just remember we chained up, we come to the top, slip our hook in, grab the yarn, pull through and through. And so we're now done with this color. So I'm just gonna grab my scissors, snippy snip. I swear to God something's been cut with those scissors other than yarn. So here we go, we're just gonna pull up. This is how I do it, and I just pull it snug, and then I just want to weave back and forth within the top of the chain, or the top of stitches, just underneath. And what's gonna happen is that when we come back around in this, this is gonna get trapped into position permanently, and you'll never see the loose ends once you've done the nice trim job. So that's how you're gonna be able to do it all the time, and I don't need to show you that anymore. And let's move on to round number 2. We're moving on to round number 2, and it says RS, and that means right side. So this is the side that we've been looking at when we've been doing this. As soon as we turn it around, you'll notice that it automatically wants to do a bowl shape, and if it's facing away from you, that is the wrong side, and if it's facing towards you so that you're looking like you're looking down into a cereal bowl, then you know you're looking at the right side in this case. And so join A, which is the color, says chain 3 and double crochet in the same stitch as the join, and then 2 double crochets into 11 stitches around, and then join at the top of the beginning chain. So let's just go. So we're just gonna slip our hook in to any of the double crochets. See, this is where I joined over here. I'm not even gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna come over here. And what I want to do is just take this color, there's no ties or anything on it because we don't want to see this, is that I just want to slip it in, okay, and I just want to let the straggler fall on top of the line, just on top, and I want to chain 3. This is your beginning chain, so when you're going to join, this is where you would join it. And it says to double crochet into the same spot as you join, so we're just gonna double crochet, and we're gonna keep that straggler down on top of the line so it gets stuck underneath. Now every stitch around is gonna get 2 double crochets, so we're just gonna continue to double crochet, and we're gonna put 2 into every stitch going around. So what does that mean? At the end you should have 12 groups of 2 going all the way around if you've done your math correctly, and just to make it really easy. So continue to do that. Put 2 double crochets all the way around. I'll meet you back up in a second. We'll move on to the next round. So I've come almost all the way around, and I can count the groups. Remember I said there's going to be 12 groups, and I now have 11, and the final stitch is going to go in, and that'll complete to having the final 2 stitches to make the final group of 12, just like you see. So we're just going to join to the top of the beginning, and we're still going to continue green for the next layer up. And what I'm going to just do now is, now that we've got this layer in, we can go back and start trimming any of the stragglers that are were already past, because those are now completely done at this point. So I'm going to do that off camera, and I'll meet you back up in a second. We'll continue on making this motif. We're now ready to move up to round number 3, and it says chain 3, double crochet in the same stitch as the join, double crochet in the next, and then 2 double crochet in the next, and then a double crochet in the next. So let's begin. It's very, very simple. Just watch. So we're gonna chain up 3. 1, 2, and 3, and it says double crochet into the same stitch. Now you think to come right down underneath, but that's part of your join. You want to make sure that you are just coming one, that it appears like it's coming one over, and that is the same stitch as the join. Okay, a lot of people get confused by that. So the very next stitch is 1 double crochet only, and now the next one is 2 double crochets. So all of those words just simply means that you're bouncing between putting in 1 double crochet versus 2 double crochet in every other one. So the next one is just 1. So the next one is 2. So it's 2 double crochets into the same one, and we just continue to go 1 and 2 all the way around, and when we get back up to the other side we join with a slip stitch, and we're gonna fasten off the green. So just remember 1 and 2. So to help you further, we've just now come almost all the way around. I've still got 2 more stitches to put into 1, but it appears that we have 2 stitches left, but we don't. We just have to remember that this one that is reaching over is part of our joining of the last row, and that it appears that it's another stitch, but in fact it's actually part of this going up. And if you can understand that, then what will happen is that you will not increase your stitches in properly, so you run out of stitches or you miscount along the way. So remember that this one here is an extension of this one here, and we don't want it to add to it. So we simply now just join with a slip stitch. at this point, and let's fasten off the green. And you see you had that huge gap, but now the gap is gone, so that means that it's been done perfectly. We're now ready for the next round, and this is round number 4. It says join C in any double crochet, chain 8, skip 2 double crochet, single crochet in the next double crochet, and blah 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 blah. So what we have here is that I have my white ready, and we just have to go into any double crochet around. It doesn't matter which one. So here's the thing, is that when we go to attach it and you look at the regular square, the regular squares, there's not a lot of places to hide this yarn. So if you have a straggler piece of yarn, you're not going to be able to hide that very well. So my point being is that you may want to reconsider on how you're attaching this white in order to really make sure it doesn't fall apart on you. So what I'm saying to you is that pull the loop through, but then for the first one, pull both of the straggler and the new yarn through. So pull them both together through. It will make it look a little thicker, but in the sense that you don't really need to worry about it falling apart on you. So that would be considered chaining 1 of 8. Okay, so now just the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we have our 8 up, and so essentially I can trim this now safely without worrying about it falling apart. And it says now to skip 2 double or single crochets on the row and come down in and single crochet in. And now I chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I skip 2 more double crochets down, and then I single crochet. Okay, then I chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then I come back down in. Okay, I'm skipping 2, come back down in, and now I want to chain 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and I skip 2 more. So 1 and 2. So essentially this is one side of your particular project. Okay, so this is one side. So if you were to look at this as a square, you got your corner, and these two are in the middle. So we just turn it and chain 4 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We skip 2 more, come down in for a single crochet. So we're in the middle of a corner piece. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Skipping 2 more, coming in. And so we're now going to form the next corner. So that's 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We come down, we skip 2 more. So that's your next corner. See that? So here we go. Let's chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We skip 2 more. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Whoops, 4. 4. Skipping 2 more. This is the next corner. So that's 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Skipping 2 more. Okay. And so then 1, 2, 3, 4. Skipping 2 more. And then the final, okay, is 1, 2, 3, and 4, and coming down in, and we slip stitch it to the beginning, and we fasten off the white. So you can see now all 4 corners, even if it looks a little distorted at this point, it still makes sense, and all the red is going to be riding within these just like you see, and that's all the white that exists within these particular motifs. So fasten that off, and we're now going to join the color red just because I want to. In the next part of this tutorial, you need to do one of these completely before you can go and start attaching. So in the next part of this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to create the side 1 and 2 as if it's not joining to anything, so that you can complete your first one without having to join. And then on the next part of this tutorial is that I'm going to show you how to join them so that the next 2 sides are going to be fitting into this little spot just like you see. So it's a kind of a versatile lesson coming up right now. Okay, this is the final revolution, and I'm going to be showing you side 1 and 2 as if you're not joining it to anything. So this will help you get your first one done, and then on the next 2 I'm going to be joining it with its neighbor. So we simply grab our red or whatever color you're going to use, and we just want to pull it around and just go around the first chain 8 space. So it's the first corner. So it can be any corner, it doesn't matter. And I want to chain up 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I want to put the straggler down on top of this entire section, the chaining 8 section, because we're going to trap it underneath. Now as per the directions, the chaining of 5 counts as a double crochet and chaining 2, and that matters in the sense that when we go to do this, we're actually doing one side of the corner versus the other. So here we go. So I simply need you to now is double crochet 6 times going in this gap and trapping that straggler underneath. So just pinching it together as if this white and the red belong together. And we're going to be double crocheting 6 times. So you will notice that every one of the corners there's 6 double crochets and then chaining 2 and 6 double crochets on the other side. So why would I ask you to chain 5 right in the very beginning? So the answer is going to come clear in just a second. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this part here where we joined is actually the other side. This is the gapping space right in the corner of your afghan, of your square. So when we come back, we're only going to do 5 double crochets on this side because we've already got this first section done. So once you have your 6 done, you want to chain 1 and simply just come down, and we want to 1 single crochet down into the first gapping of the 4 space, and then chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, coming back into the next chain 4 space for a single crochet, and then chain 1. And now we come into the chain 8 section. So chaining 8, the corners for these will always be 6 double crochets, chain 2, 6 double crochets. So this is number 4. And this is 5. So this is one side. So there's now 6 in there, and chain 2, 1 and 2, and we come back into that same corner and do the other side of the corner for 6 double crochets. 1, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, and 6. Now that you're done that, chain 1, single crochet into the first chaining 4 space, and then chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That gets us into the middle of the next chain 4 space for a single crochet, and then we chain 1 and we begin a corner again. So if you're doing the entire square for the very first time to start your afghan, you just continue this same configuration all the way around, and when you get back to the other side, you're going to be doing that chaining double crocheting of 5. But I'm going to show you that in just a sec, because right at this corner before we turn, or in the middle of the turn, we're going to be joining it to its neighbor, and I'm going to be showing you that next. So once we get to this point, I'm going to have you stop if you're joining, and if you're not joining at this point, just continue to do exactly what you did here all the way around, and I'll meet you back up in just a second.
Sorry to interrupt this regularly scheduled program, but it's Mikey here at the Crochet Crowd, and I have an error in this video that I can't seem to edit out, and so I want to tell you about it just really quickly here. In the video you would have seen me, and I was putting together this square, and I was wanting to show you how to do this square without attaching it to its neighbor so you can get your first one done. So I thought, okay, brilliant. I can just use the other 2 sides to attach together to show you how to do that. But you will notice that when I come to the end, I'm like, oh my god, what's going on? And the reason for it is that when you're attaching these to your neighbor, you have to make sure that your finishing corner does not attach to a neighbor. So for example, in this here, you would go across and then attach here, and then come back and then finish here. Okay, so in this video that you're about to see right now is that I started and I did this side here, this side, and then I attached, and then I went to go attach, but I couldn't actually attach it down here because of the way that the square is started. So sorry to interrupt this program. I want to make sure that you understand that, because I just can't seem to convey that on the words on your screen right now. So I'll let you get back to me on the screen right now.
So as promised, this afghan is about joining as you go, and I already have 3 joined together, and now I'm gonna be joining this particular piece with the neighbor on both sides. So I'm gonna fill it in just like so. So I want to fill it in to the point where I want to do the sides that I know are not going to be joining anybody. So you want to do it as normal, and essentially you're going to come to the corner just before you're finished. Okay, so we get our 6 double crochets in, and normally what we would have done is chain 2 and then 6 double crochet on this side, but we have to attach it before we can continue. So you're going to 6 double crochet as normal, and instead of chaining 2 you're just going to chain 1, and then you're going to grab the one that you want to attach it to, and you just want to go right through that corner piece. Okay, so just come up underneath and just grab the yarn and pull it through. That's a slip stitch, and then chain 1. So normally it would have been 6 double crochets, chain 2, and then 6 double crochets. Now we're joining, it's 6 double crochets, chain 1, slip stitch it to the neighbor, chain 1, and then what we do is we come back to this one and we 6 double crochet itself. So each square here, as I'm talking to you, as I'm doing this, is going to be joined to the neighbor only 3 times throughout the duration of each side. So it actually makes it a very quick and easy joining without actually a lot of brain power, which I kind of really like. Okay, so we have our 6 double crochets in. Just like before, we chain 1. Okay, and what we need to do is just single crochet into the first chain 4 space, so that's normal. And now this time it would have been chain 4 and then single crochet into the next one, but we're not going to do that. We're going to chain 2 only, 1 and 2, and we go back to the neighbor and we slip it through the chaining 4. Okay, so we see the chaining 4, we just slip it through, so grab the yarn, pull it through there so it locks it, and now we chain 2 and come back down to the other side. So remember, so if there was no neighbor, we would have just single crochet, chain 4, single crochet. But when we have to join it to a neighbor, we chain 2, slip stitch it to the neighbor, chain 2, and then come back down. So now we're going to chain 1 and 6 double crochet to start this corner. Okay, and there's 4. That's 5 and 6, and just like we did with this corner here, we're going to be attaching it to the neighbor. So we have our 6 here, we don't chain 2, we only chain 1, we go to the neighbor. Now in this case I'm going to go to the neighbor that's directly across from it. Okay, so I'm not going to go to the neighbor right beside me, and this will just really help it keep it together for a nice tight join. Okay, and then we chain 1 and then we come back down to this one where we have been working on, and do another 6 double crochet. So in this case we have 2 sides to attach to. So we got 4 in so far, 5 and 6, and again like before we chain 1, we single crochet into the first gap of space 4, and then instead of just chaining 4 and then coming back into the next one, we have to join. So it's 1 and 2, and now we grab the new one that's in this side. Okay, it's the chaining 4 space here on the red. We go just underneath the red, bring it around, that's a slip stitch, and then 1 and 2, and then come back down to the next white on this side. So we essentially just joining it right into the center. Do you see that? And now we chain 1, and we want to finish this corner, so even if you didn't have to join it, you will still have this one already started. So we're only going to do 5 double crochets in the final one, because the first chaining of 5 counts as one of them. So that gives you a combined total of 6. So it's 3, 4, it's 5, and then what we have to do at this point is that we have to join it to the neighbor. So in this case I actually kind of screwed up a bit, and I want to it's actually a complete accident, but this is a really great lesson. So what has happened here is that the way that I did it is that I've already started my corner. So this corner was supposed to be attached there. Which I'm saying to you is that I should have never done that. I should have had it so that this final edge is on an end that doesn't join to with anybody. So that's kind of a lesson that I've just learned by doing it here live on camera, because now that the corner is already existing, I can't just join it to another corner. So that's a great lesson for, you know, trying to figure out how to attach it, is that you have to make sure your starting corner is never on a side that is actually already starting to join with something else. So I guess I'm gonna leave that in the video because that's a great lesson, and I know it's a screw up, but you know what, life's never meant to be perfect. And just to be fair, I did go back and I did correct myself so that I was not starting and stopping on the same one of the joints. So I did reverse back out. My OCD kicked in. Plus I want to show you the border, so I need it to be proper anyway. So make sure that whenever you start and stop a square, that you are never doing it on the corner where it's attaching to anything. So again, on the very end there, I got 2 in so far, and we only want 5 double crochets to finalize our final corner, because the chaining of 5 counts as 1. And so that gives you a total of 6, and then we slip stitch it to the 3rd chain up. Don't go all the way to the top of the chain because you want to maintain that gap, just like so. So let's fasten that off, and I'm going to show you how to do the border next. So let's begin to do our border. It's very, very simple. We just have to pick one of the corners. So obviously your Afghan square, so you got a 25% chance of getting the right corner. It doesn't matter which corner you want, and you want the right side facing you as well. So let's begin. We're gonna grab our white and we're just gonna pull it through. Remember, no knots, and we're simply just going to chain up 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that counts as a double crochet and chaining 1. So it says to double crochet into the same space. So I'm just going to double crochet in. You notice how I'm trapping down that straggler, so it's on top of the line, so I can trap it. And now it says to chain 1, and it says to, what did it say? It said chain 1 and then skip the first double crochet. So we're going to skip the first one, go to the second for a double crochet. And it says to do that 3 times. So we're going to chain 1 and skip the next double crochet, go to the second over, like so, chain 1, skip the next double crochet, and it'll take you to the final double crochet on the corner. Okay, so you've run out of double crochets, so you know you're doing it right at this point. So now what we're going to do is we're going to concentrate on this chain 4 space, and in the chain 4 space it said to double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the same space. So it's like a V-stitch, isn't it? So we're just going to come in right into the chain 4 space and double crochet. Okay, we're going to chain 1, come back into that same space for another double crochet. So now what we're going to do is that we're going to immediately jump over to the next double crochet on the corner. Okay, and what we want to do, remember how we were skipping stitches on this side, we're doing the same on the other. We got to chain 1 first, skip the next stitch, go to the second over. Okay, chain 1, skip the next, go to the next over. Okay, and then what we do, chain 1, and then we come back into the corner that we have. So essentially now we have made ourselves a way, so essentially now we have crocheted ourselves across one solid motif. So this is where we are at this point. So now we just simply just chain 1 and we go to this next spot right here, and this is the chain 2 space, and we double crochet. So then just like we've done over here, we just have to repeat again on this side. So it's very no-brainer. So chain 1, we skip the first double crochet, we go to the second. Remember how we did that before? Chain 1, we skip the first one, go to the second. Oops, I want to make sure I get the entire stitch when I do that. Okay, chain 1, and we skip again, and you will end up on the very last one again of this new corner. Okay, and so now what we have to do is that we have to begin to go over to the section just like we did over here. So we have to then double crochet into the next one like that, chain 1, so this is a chain 4 space, double crochet again over here, and then we immediately double crochet into the first one on the other side of the corner. So if you had a wider afghan, obviously you're going to go wider all the way around in order to make this happen. Remember, we chain one just like so. So I'm coming up to the very corner, so we chain one, skipping the next double crochet. Hopefully you can see the pattern at this point, and chain one, and we're on the first corner. So this will be the first corner before we turn the corner. How is that for 10 times fast? So just stay tuned and I'll get you some more information right now. So when working all the way across, you're gonna finally hit your corner, as I just mentioned, and normally we've been chaining one in between all of the double crochets as we've been going along, but this is a corner, so in this case we're gonna chain two, one and two, and we're gonna put another stitch right into the same corner like this, so it allows the afghan to turn. We're just gonna turn our work, and again, just continuing along, we chain one, skipping the first double crochet, and because this is a square, it all works out to be perfect. Chain one, skipping the next double crochet, going to the second over. Okay, we skip the next double crochet. Okay, and now we're ready to do the middle part, so we just double crochet over, chain one, double crochet again into the same spot, and then double crochet into the first one of the other side of the corner. Okay, chain one, double crochet into the next. We skip one, but we double crochet in the next, chain one, skipping one, going into the next. Just looking at it here, we're just seeing where it's joined. We chain one and going right into the corner space of this one, just like we did before. Chain one and then go into the next one and do that all the way around. And remember, on the corners that we do, we double crochet, chain two, double crochet into the corner spots when you get all the way around your afghan. Okay, round number 2 and round number 3 and round number 4 are all the same. So it's just a matter of making it really quickly and easy for you, and then we can cover round number 5 and then the last round in just a second. So what we have here is this is the corner piece. You can see how they're attached together. We just want to bring on our next color at this point. If you don't feel like changing color, you don't have to. It's just what the pattern is calling for at this point. So I'm just going to join up, and it says to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. In this round we're completely doing half double crochets all the way around at this point. So this counts as a half double crochet with a chaining of 1. So it says half double crochet into the same chaining space. So this is just like we started off before, where we're putting 2 into the same spot. And remember, half double crochet is that we pull through all 3 just like so, and then we chain 1. And that what we want to do is that we want to half double crochet into each one of the gaps around this afghan. So chain 1, going into the next gap. So this is really simple. So this is really simple. So chain 1 and simply just go around your afghan. Chain 1 with just half double crochets into all the spaces that you see. So every white should be standing up on its own with the red joining in between, just like that. On the corners you are going to do a half double crochet and then chaining 2 and then half double crochet into the same corner in order to turn the corner when you're doing all of this. So again, it's a very easy and effective way to be able to do this afghan relatively quickly, and it looks pretty sharp too. So do this for round number 2, 3, and 4. So moving on to row number 5, we're going to do something slightly different. So rows number 2 will have been the last one that you just seen on camera. So this will be a lot bigger in person because I haven't gone that far. So due to tutorial reasons and speed, I'm just jumping ahead to show you round number 5 in advance. So what we want to do is just come in, and you're just going to come into any corner, and we're going to simply do exactly what you did with the white already. So it's a repeat of round number 1. So we simply just go into a corner and chain 4, which counts as your double crochet, chain 1, and then coming back in just like so for a double crochet. And now we chain 1, and then what we have to do is that we just come back down in between. So it's like the first round, but in a sense we don't have to worry about counting our stitches so much. We just have to chain 1 and double crochet into each one of the gaps that you see with the row below. So just chain 1, double crochet. So you get a really beautiful candy canning effect with this particular afghan. So you will have had 3 rows of half double crochet underneath with altering the colors back and forth. This particular row may not be color white for you if you're following along in a theme, but you know that your creativity is really up to you at this point. So continue all the way around, and you're just gonna join it with the beginning stitch at the thing at the at the end of this round. And what I want to do is show you the last round, because the last round is going to give this afghan a bit of frill, and that will be the final of this particular afghan pattern. So I just come all the way back around and I've just joined it, and now I'm going to chain up 3, 1, 2 and 3, and we simply just want to slip stitch into the top of each one of the double crochets going all the way around, and this is the final round. So to slip stitch we go through and we pull through and through to make sure we get everything through. Sometimes it's can be a little bit of a challenge. And then 1, 2, 3, go to the top of the next, so that was the first one, go to the next double crochet, grab the yarn and pull through and through. And this is given the edge a little bit of a ruffling effect. So 1, 2 and 3, next double crochet. Again, very painless, just like that, and 1, 2, 3. So this takes away the even solid lines that you see on the edge and gives it a bit of texture instead. Thank you on behalf of redheart.com as well as the Crochet Crowd for joining me today and wishing you the very best of the holiday season. Don't forget, you can use this concept for particular any afghans. You just have to change the color, and then voila, you don't have a Christmas season afghan at your fingertips. Until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of redheart.com as well as the Crochet Crowd.